Year-end reviews are supposed to be simple. You look back, you measure performance, you summarize contribution, at least that's how they're described. But for many people, the outcome feels confusing. You worked consistently, you solved problems, you carried responsibility. From your perspective, you met every parameter, and yet, the evaluation feels oddly disconnected. Not wrong, just misaligned. This confusion isn't accidental, because performance reviews are not designed to capture effort in detail. They are designed to create stability. By the time evaluations happen, most outcomes are already shaped, not by recent work, but by narratives that formed quietly over months. In large organizations, reviews do not travel downward. They travel upward. Managers don't write evaluations to explain your work to you. They write them to justify outcomes above them. Every sentence must be defensible. Every rating must align. Every comment must fit within an existing story. That story is rarely about effort, it's about risk. From a system perspective, the purpose of a review is not exactness. It's internal consistency. Strong performance that fits the narrative is easy to document. Strong performance that complicates it creates friction. So details get softened. Contributions get summarized. Edges get smoothed. Not out of malice, out of necessity. By the time your work appears on paper, it has passed through multiple layers of simplification. Context is removed. Complexity is reduced. Uncertainty is filtered out. What remains is a version that feels safe to endorse. This is where seemingly unexplained ratings begin to form. Because year-end evaluations are rarely based on performance alone. They are shaped by additional signals that are never written down. Signals like how predictable your output feels, how much unpredictability your presence introduces, how easily your work can be explained upward, how well your role fits into future planning. None of these appear on official evaluation criteria, but all of them influence the outcome. Someone who prevents problems may leave no visible trail. Someone who stabilizes chaos may appear replaceable. Someone who carries complexity may look inefficient when simplified. From your perspective, everything checks out. From the system's perspective, something else is being measured. This becomes more visible once comparative ratings enter the process. On paper, comparative evaluation exists to differentiate performance. In practice, it often serves another function. It creates safe justification. Ratings are adjusted not only to reflect contribution, but to maintain balance, to distribute opportunity, to manage expectations, to avoid difficult conversations. Comparisons allow leadership to explain outcomes without explaining decisions. A slightly lower rating can mean many things. It can mean pacing. It can mean timing. It can mean future placement. It can mean a decision already made elsewhere. Comparative frameworks absorb these choices quietly. They turn unspoken constraints into neutral-looking numbers. The television show Office Space hinted at this indirectly. Performance metrics drifting away from the work they were meant to measure. That gap is not accidental. Decisions are rarely about performance in isolation. They are about what can be defended, aligned, and sustained without creating disruption. Evaluations follow the same logic. They reward what fits cleanly into the organization's forward story. Over time, performance reviews become less about work and more about predictability, less about contribution and more about continuity. From the outside, this feels unfair. From inside the system, it feels efficient. So when your year-end evaluation doesn't reflect your effort, it's not because you missed the criteria. It's because the criteria were never the full picture. And once you see that, the confusion starts to dissolve. Not into clarity about the outcome, but into clarity about the system. Before we leave, remember this. What happens at work is rarely accidental. It's usually patterned. This channel exists to examine those patterns calmly and without judgment. You're watching The Invisible Ladder.